know you walking in heaven. Look ahead. Now that love's taking over, I'm 100% sure that it's here to stay. I ain't got no issues standing in my way. I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. So let's make it official. We ain't getting no younger, baby. And I'm ready to be with you. Together for always. To have and to hold. Through sickness and through health. I ain't talking crazy, babe. Can you live with it? Loving me for life. To have and hold forever. Baby, ride or die. Till death do us part. Let's make it last forever. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh.
All right, y'all. Let it ride, smoke. Yeah. Real pimps get down on the floor. Hey, Glenn, get down on the floor. Come on. Hey, my nigga Los, get down on the floor. Wow. Hey, Bryce C, get down on the floor. Come on. My nigga T, let's rock it on the floor. Yeah. Yo, HG unit, get down on the floor. Yes. Hey, D Block, get down on the floor. Come on. Tiffany talk, y'all. One more time. Rest in peace, T.
Can you live with it? Loving me for life. You have and hold forever. Baby, ride or die.
Come on,
Till
come on.
death do us part.
Come on, come on.
Let's make it last forever. Can you live with it?
Come on, come on.
Loving me for life.
Yeah.
You have and hold forever. Baby, ride or die. Till death do us part. Let's make it last forever. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sing it, girl.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Y'all just play the music, y'all. Play that music, y'all.
Right into it for my ladies in here. Let me let the band work it out. Come on, son. Make sure y'all make y'all way to the bar. Keep it right here for my lady subtle. Hey, baby, I love you. Yeah. All night long, too smooth. Baby, I love you. Listen, when I need, do you think about me? Where my fellas at? Say when you're gone, I can't wait till you get home. Home, yeah, that you were wrong, so was I. Now what are we gonna do? Molly Mar, hey. Our real ladies ain't letting that happen. It's gonna take a lifetime, oh yeah, to get between you and I. Oh, 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 they will ride nothing but lies. Can't see nothing but you. Hey, so tonight I'll try whatever you wanna do. Hey fellas, it's up to you, baby, and that's why
Real smooth. Last time, y'all, I sang the quiet on the set. Sounds so good back here, Dave. Promise you right there, Keith. Last time, Dave. Warm it up. Sting it, Jeff. Like that part right there, Fat Cat. Know what I'm talking about? Say back in the good old day, Ray and Miss Dreamer. This song right here, I was a little baby with a rat on my mouth. You was real little man. Yeah, but I'm on my ground man stuff right now. Know what I'm talking about right there, baby?
Just let it groove on me just a little bit. Come on, fellas. I need you jamming. With my bass line there. There it goes. Come on, Fidel. Y'all ready? Y'all can take it easy on this one. I don't even gotta sing hard on this. All you do is just, here we go. What would you do when you love somebody? You can't explain the feeling inside. Oh, so you hide. But when you love somebody, it's inside. You can't leave it alone. Oh, please don't care. Oh, baby, please don't care. I thought it was over now. Please don't care. Ooh, baby, please don't care. Do it one more time for me. Go ahead, I'ma let the music just free just a minute. It make you do a lot of thinking. You got it. Come on. Come on, tell me, help me out. Come on, Jamie, here we go.
How you feel, Virgos? Sweet Shell, TT, NT. Yeah. Whatever you want to do, Taisha. Miss Talea, how you feel, girl?
If you ain't right, if you ain't, yeah, hey, happy birthday, Virgo. If you ain't right, hey Angie, if you ain't right, Tanea, if you ain't right, Chicky Eyes, hey Lolo. If you ain't right,
That's what we're talking about, baby.
if you ain't right, Monique Michelle, you ain't, if you ain't right,
Ain't no lie. settle. Get your hands in the air. The party will settle.
Hey, Mr. 17. Hey.
Hey, get your hands in the air. The party will settle. Hey, hold it, hold. Turn with the beat, goddamn. Let's work. Right there. I bet your man can't do it like that. Come on. Hey, Tree. Hey. Hey, party up in here. Party up in here. Hey, party over here. Party over here. Hey, party up in here. Party up in here. Hey, party over here, party over here. Stop. Hey, young buck, wait a minute. Yeah. Holla back. Yeah. Birthday, boom, boom, yo. Well, Roxanne got a birthday. Hey, Sugar Bell got a birthday. Hey, Leo got a birthday. Hey, Champagne Woman Thursday. Hey, Roxanne got a birthday. Yeah, Sugar Bell got a birthday. Hey, Leo got a birthday. Yo. Wait a minute. I'ma knock 'em out like Fight Night. Howdy for TT. I'm the only one that get the job done. Hey, Sean Bay, ain't a motherfucker who can cover for me. Wait a minute, goddamn. Hey, put it on. Hey, 58. Hey, Montana. Hey, Trinidad. Party up in here. Party up in here. Round with the beat, goddamn. I'm the only one that gets the job done. All I know, Hollywood, do me a favor and get your hands in the air. Party will settle. What? And get your hands in the air. The party will settle. Hey, Molly Ma, and get your hands in the air. The party will settle. What? And get your hands in the air. Party will settle. Hey, Trinidad. Hey, party over here. Party over here. Come on. Right to yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, how is everyone doing? It's your boy, Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo on that, aka Mr. Slap Your Mama, aka Mr. I'm Back,
What?
aka this is another amazing week, aka shout out to all the real ones,
We here.
aka your ancestry must be depleted. I'm sorry. I'm just on my funny intellectual rant right now.
That's cute.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what it is.
And
Y'all know what we do, and I have my co-host with me.
you already know what it is. It's Christopher J, a.k.a. I'm Mr. Essential,
Okay.
a.k.a. I'm him.
Okay.
So act like you know.
Act like you know. Oh my Lord.
And if you don't, you can go to your nearest Walmart.
Uh-huh.
Nah, I'm not going to say what he be saying all the
Why
time.
not?
Nah, because I'm trying to help the people. So you can go to your nearest Walmart and go to the health and medicinal section and get you some protein supplemental drinks to go ahead and help you out if you're over 300 pounds, rather than go to the hunting section and buy a shotgun.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay, listen.
I'm trying to help the people.
So, y'all know me by now. I've been a community advocate and an activist since, oh God,
The
over a
dinosaur
decade.
ages.
I'm gonna just say over a decade. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just say that. But anyway, I'm very proud for my books and business promotion segment of the show. I'm proud and honored to have two young activists who have stepped up to the plate in my local region, and I'm going to give them an opportunity to come on the show to talk about what they have going on. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not support these two young black male and female, what I am going to suggest is that you go to your nearest Walmart.
Only time I'm agree with him.
Go walk past the cashiers, go past electronics, make a left to sporting goods. And you know where they got the rifles and the shotguns? I just need you to go ahead and buy one.
Preferably 12 gauge because your skulls are
Load
thick.
that thing on up.
Kaboom.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, and also who you're going to see on there is not a guest or a surprise on the True on That show. Y'all should be used to him by now. Mr. Cedric Gray is going to be on here as well. But before he gets to talking and we get to dialoguing about things, let's let the two young activists speak for themselves. How y'all doing? Introduce yourself to the True on That radio station fans. Yeah.
Ladies first. All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Marin. I'm a sophomore at the University of Maryland. I'm 19 years old, and that was a beautiful welcome. Thank you guys for having us on the show.
No problem.
I'm grateful for the opportunity that you guys are giving us. It's amazing. Thank you.
No problem.
My name is Jared Rogers. I am a rising sophomore at Towson University, and like Mary said, thank you again for having us on the show. Wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, shout out to the Tigers. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. So, what y'all got going on this Sunday? Talk to us.
All right, I'm gonna just really boost this up. So we have organized a wonderful protest in our local neighborhood in Russet, Laurel, Maryland, this Sunday, the 28th, and it's gonna happen at 1 p.m. We have people coming. We have representatives like congressmen coming. We have officers coming, not to support us, but to listen to us.
Okay.
We have, who else do we have? We have the Board of Education coming because we know that the problem starts with education. And just to point out that we need to educate and not to indoctrinate. We also have voters registration table because we always hear about voting is so important, but you know a lot of people are ineligible to vote or they don't know how to become eligible. So we will have a table ready for everybody to, if you aren't eligible, become eligible to vote. Yeah. Jared, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, Mary carried away most of that. Like she said, we're gonna have a lot of people out here, congressmen, state representatives, delegates, a lot of people out there. You're gonna be hearing a lot of powerful speeches from the youth, such of ourselves, because we just want to get more of our message out there for us to really be heard. Like she said, with the voting registration, we want to give people the opportunity who aren't already registered to to register. That way they can make a difference, help us make a difference in this upcoming election. We're really excited about this, and we just hope everyone can make it out there.
Let's go. Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Yeah.
So
That's exciting for
one
me.
last thing. What provoked you guys to get started on activism work? I want both of y'all to speak on this one, and then after that, I want you to give everyone your Instagrams and social media platforms so that they can follow you, because I'm going to support y'all big time, and so everyone that supports me is going to support y'all.
Yeah, I love that question. It's like right now, like of course, like civil rights activism was like so heightened before, but like right now it's like an all-time high because we have the media on our side. Like it feels like we're being passed the baton of activism, and it feels like if we don't take this chance to take advantage of it, I feel like I failed. So like just putting this together was just I wouldn't even say it was like hard work. It was just work that needed to be done. So it has to be done. And we're doing it.
Yo, we just feel like now is like especially is the time to make a difference. A time to be heard. With everything going around in the world right now, like this is our time to make an impact. Our community specifically, Russia, we want us to be heard. So why not? Why not organize a peaceful protest, peaceful rally? Why not get our message out there? Perfect time.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it.
How can the people reach out to you guys?
So Mary, go ahead, man.
Alright, my IG is MERONHENO. It's just my first and last name, Marin Heno.
And my Instagram is JROD_137.
Now, just a quick lesson for the younger generation. If somebody were to get in touch with you, is there a potential email for business purposes that they could reach out to you in order to potentially promote and help out with what you got going on Sunday?
Of course. My email is actually on the flyer, but I can say it again. It's my first name, MERON.
And we will show the flyer during the breaks just to let everyone know that. So go ahead.
Okay, perfect. It's just my first name, the number one, my last name, Kendall@gmail.com, just like my Instagram.
And my email is my first name Garrett, JARED, last name Rogers, ROGERS 43289 @gmail.com.
Nice, nice. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, please go support, show love. This is what it's all about, is supporting the generation after you, because they are the future. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. When I come back, Christopher J., Cedric, and myself are going to give the topic. We're going to have the discussion points, and we're going to dive into a very interesting, very, very interesting. Lord have mercy, Jesus. We're going to get into it. We'll be back after this quick 2.2. Leave us.
Rhyme yo real smooth, yo. Take it breezy first, y'all. Hey, JB.
know you walking in heaven. Look ahead. Now that love's taking over, I'm 100% sure that it's here to stay. I ain't got no issues standing in my way. I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. So let's make it official. We ain't getting no younger, baby. And I'm ready to be with you. Together for always. To have and to hold. Through sickness and through health. I ain't talking crazy, babe. Can you live with it? Loving me for life. To have and hold forever. Baby, ride or die. Till death do us part. Let's make it last forever. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh.
All right, y'all. Let it ride, smoke. Yeah. Real pimps get down on the floor. Uh-huh. Hey, Glendon, get down on the floor. Come on. Hey, my nigga Los, get down on the floor. Wow. Hey, Bryce C, get down on the floor. Come on. My nigga T, let's rock it on the floor. Yeah. Yo, HG unit, get down on the floor. Yes. Hey, D Block, get down on the floor. Come on. Yeah. Tiffany Top, y'all. One more time. Rest in peace, T.
Can you live with it? Loving me for life. You have it all forever. Baby, ride or die.
Come on,
Till
come on.
death do us part.
Come on, come on.
Let's make it last forever. Can you live with it?
Come on, come on.
Loving me for life.
Yeah.
You have it all forever. Baby, ride or die. Till death do us part. Let's make it last forever. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sing it, girl.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Y'all just play the music, y'all. Play that music, y'all.
Right into it for my ladies in here. Let me let the band work it out. Come on, son. Make sure y'all make y'all way to the bar.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo on that, aka Mr. Bare Essentials,
Bare essentials.
aka Mr. Slap Your Great, 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 Great
Nah.
Ancestry. And I'm here with my co-host.
Christopher J, aka Mr. Essential, not Bare Essentials, and aka I'm him. So act like you know.
And I'm here, and who you see above me. Of course, Lord have mercy, Jesus. We have a person back on the show who's really not a guest, but we want to act like he's a guest. But I'm trying to have him to come on the show on a more permanent basis. If he ever acquires the proper documentations from the kings and the lords, But no, this is my homeboy Cedric Gray. Everybody, shout out, say something to the people, Cedric.
Hey, yo, man, what's going on with y'all, man? It's always a pleasure to be back on this show, man, to be with Chris and to be with you, man. And you know, like I always say, let's get it started.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
All the way from the West Coast, cuz. You already know what it is, homie. You my bro, cuz. You my bro, cuz.
All right, so listen, today's topic.
Break it down, break it down, break it down, baby.
Y'all not gonna. So I'm starting a series because what I found out is that there is a lot of people who act like their opinion matters, but they never studied history. They've never done real, actual activism work, or even contributed to people that they know doing activism work.
Let alone do research.
Let alone do research. What their definition of research is social media posts and memes, and YouTube videos. And they always support people that's not even in their own backyard. They always go on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter and support people because they have a lot of followers and views and stuff, and they support them instead of supporting those that are right close to them. With that being said, we are starting the series called the Historical Rises and Rebellion series on True Nation radio station, Choo on that show. Historical rises and historical rebellions. And in this particular show, we're going to talk about not just the historical rises and rebellions, but also black economics.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about issues within the black community. But we're not going to do it in a coonery way and act like it's all black folks. That the reason why we are the way we are. We don't coon on this show at all. And in fact, I hang up on coons on my show.
If you don't believe us, go back to episode, what is that, 3?
No. That
4?
was like episode 11.
Was it?
Episode 11 with... Yeah, it was either episode 10 or 11 where we actually hung up on someone, on a special guest that we had, because she was cooning. We tolerate no coonery here. We push the end button and says, leave us.
Boop, boop, boop. Call failed.
But since I forgot the intellectual rant last week, I want to honor my co-host who's been here since the relaunch of the Choo on that show. And I want to give the intellectual rant right now. Christopher J. holla at the people.
Oh, my goodness. Good gracious, my golly.
Oh,
Jesus.
Lord.
Whatever shall I do? Oh, how about give facts to the people because they don't have them?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Shall I start? Indubitably, I will. All right, so I'm going to check this out. I realized that alongside Black Lives Matter, there has been sometimes often used as a rebuttal was All Lives Matter. So I want to go ahead and break some information that has been widespread through your internet, just to go ahead and show you that all lives actually don't matter. And until it does, I wouldn't recommend sharing that particular hashtag.
Yes, Lord.
So until then, let's stick with Black Lives Matter. I'm going to tell you why, right?
Okay.
Based on 2019's U.S. Census, there is approximately 191 million white people and 42 million black people, right? So let's take that 191 and we divide it by 42, and it gives us 4.55, right? So in 2019, there was approximately 370 white people that were killed by cops. You know, for all those who say, there's more white people that's killed by police. That's actually false, because the reason why I'm going to say that is because apparently all lives matter, right? So if all lives actually matter, take that 370 white people and divide it by the 4.5 that was just previously quoted, and it comes out to 82, because that's how many black people should have died if all lives actually mattered.
Ooh.
But all lives don't. So if you go back to the facts of 2019, 235 black people were actually killed by the cops. Divide that by the 82, which should have been killed, and that's 2.87 times greater than what should have been.
Wow.
Right? So per the statistics, black people have been killed 3 times more than that of white people. I'd love to agree that all lives matter, but unfortunately, facts prove that they don't. And for those that want to rebuttal, okay, those facts that I'm bringing you, those numbers, were brought to you by your friendly neighborhood Caucasian male.
Uh-oh.
Right? Right. So, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, I mean, 3 times more black people were killed than white people. But all lives matter, right? So how can I really add, right? How can I add and make sure that all lives truly matter? So if you're watching, I want you to go to your calculator, right? And I want you to take that 370 white people, and I want you to divide it.
Yes, Lord. Break it down for them.
Actually, I apologize. Not divide. I never was good at math, but make sure I got my calculator app for all you new generations. Take your 2.87 and multiply it by the 370 white people. And it'll come to 1,061.9, which is what the amount of white people that should have been killed by cops if all lives mattered, if things were actually equal. But they're not. So based on the statistics that are brought to you by your kind, I highly recommend that you put a little more, transfer a little bit more energy to Black Lives Matter. Because once Black lives actually matter, then you can say that all lives matter. And this right here concludes your intellectual rant.
Oh, my Lord. Yes, it concludes the intellectual rant. Leave us.
Ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta for now.
Pinky up.
Hands up, thumbs down. Listen, Cedric, do you want to say something to that intellectual rant that Christopher J just broke down?
Did I say something wrong, bro? Call me out, man.
I only have one word to say, and that is superb. You have microscopically broken it down to the finest compound. Therefore, there is nothing left for me to even rebut or even speak on. I thought it was excellent, man.
You know what? I'm glad that you can actually see that, considering you don't got your Harry Potter glasses on this episode.
Lord,
Ooh,
Lord have mercy.
shots fired.
Pew pew. You on the West Coast, cuz you already know how we do.
Leave us.
Nothing but love over here, brother. I appreciate you, fam.
No, so listen. History has, if those who study history must understand this, that America has been repeating herself. Let me break this down real quick. For those who say that black people don't know how to unite or get along or hold on to anything, right now in 2020 there are still 13 all black towns in the United States of America, and they're in Oklahoma. 13 all black towns, all black everything. And it's in Oklahoma right now. Historical black towns at that were started back then, and they rebuilt them after the white folks came and invaded and divided and bombed and raided like the Vikings usually do. So I just want to demystify that lie and say that we can do that all across America. And that is what the government fears, is our unity on that scale. But what we also have to remember is that Harriet Tubman said this, and I quote, that I could have freed a lot more slaves had they had known they were slaves. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a true statement in this fact that today we have black folks who are fighting on the opposite team. I was shown a video earlier today by my big brother about police officers resigning because they can't use chokeholds. And it wasn't just white officers. There were blacks in there as well. When I used to work for the government, there was a process that you had to go through called indoctrination. And it is called indoctrination for a reason. Or do we just think that with Captain America and all them and the Red Skull and with all them, Hell Hydra, that's just somebody's imagination? No, they got it from somewhere. I hate to be this heavy so early on the show, but I'm getting kind of sick and tired of people blaming black folks for their condition here in the United States of America. When in fact, if you bring up anything that black folks do in the United States of America, I can trace it back to systematic oppression. Fellas, talk to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off by saying this. What I pay attention mostly to is white riots that have, or riots that I should say, riots that have taken place prior to 1960. So when you take a look prior to 1960, because they love to throw 2020 in our face, they want to throw 1992 in our face, right? They want to throw 68 and 65 in our face. So what I decided to do this afternoon, when I was tasked, if you will, is I said, let's look at white riots prior to, or riots in this country prior to 1960. And so a few things came up, and one of the first things that popped up was there was 27 riots by whites in 1919 alone.
Ooh.
27 in 1919. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a tragic story. This is a story about, it's called the Elaine Massacre.
Okay. The Elaine Massacre.
It's called the Elaine Massacre. Now, this happened in September 30th, 1919.
Okay.
This is in Phillips County, Arkansas. So what happened was, previously, for the previous months, there was a union almost with African American farmers who decided that what they were going to do was they were going to get together and try to figure out how can we get more money from the white plantation owners for our cotton crop. Now, the neighboring counties, along with Phillips County, decided on September 30th, 1919, that they were not only going to try to intimidate, but they were also going to kill. And so what they did was they killed over 200 African Americans at that time, right? This is 100 sharecroppers. Over 200 people died, okay? 79 murders of indictment. 12 of those didn't even reach trial. They was killed before they even went on appeal. Okay,
wow.
This is 1919.
Wow.
Okay? We have another instant in Chicago. So maybe they say, well, that's down south for all of the people that may think this is just a regional problem. We're going to take it around the U.S. for a second.
Right.
So we going up north now in Chicago. There is a story of a young black man, a youth, swimming in an all-white swimming pool and was stoned to death in that swimming pool. I said he was stoned to death in that swimming pool and died from drowning.
Wow.
Obviously from blunt trauma.
Wow.
And being unconscious and died.
Wow.
So over 2 weeks, thousands of blacks was left homeless from that incident, and countless other atrocities that took place. Okay, so when I hear riots, I'm forced to do the research. I'm forced to do the work, which I'm glad to do.
Yes.
But what it does is it actually reveals who the true perpetrator is when it pertains to what America considers to be rioting. So now there's two things that's going on here. So now you have, in one aspect, you have white people at this time, and to this day still using rioting as a form of intimidation,
Yes.
and you having black people using rioting as a form of frustration.
Whoa.
There's two different things going
I
on.
love that.
Whoa.
I love that.
And so without belaboring, my point is to say that out of a longing to want to be free, out of a longing of being oppressed, we have a right to self-determination, and we strongly oppose those who want to impose their will on us for just pure domination purposes.
Wow.
And so when they start talking about rioting, they must be very careful that we don't reveal the true history of rioting.
Woo. Brother, that's heavy stuff. And I love that because people have to realize that the so-called founding fathers of this nation, which is now a corporation incorporated in the state of Delaware, they was rioting, looting, setting fires, committing genocide over being overtaxed. Overtaxed. Not being killed, not poverty, but tax money. And they call it a revolution, the Revolutionary War. And it was brave Christian men who came over here in the name of the Lord and did these acts. And it's funny because everything that Black America does as a whole is always demonized. Even when you do the same thing that white America does, they still demonize you as Black Americans. And that is also an historical. Do you know that history shows that the slaughter of whole Black communities and towns happened based upon a white lie?
Crazy how that terminology comes to play, right?
Yeah.
Demonized. Wait, I'm sorry, what's the etymology of the word democracy?
The etymology of the word democracy in the Old Latin is demos cracy, which means rulership of demons. Just for those who want to be aware of that, which is why you swear your allegiance to a republic, but they tell you live in a democracy. But, you just keep eating the pills that they give you, and you choose left wing, right wing, or left leg, right leg, not realizing it's the same bird, but you keep hoping in that. According to the Holy Scriptures, it says that hope deferred makes the heart sick. Just think about that for a moment. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. Do you know the definition of insanity is to repeat the same thing
And expect a different result.
and expecting?
Lord
have mercy, I'm preaching and they ain't passing the offering bucket.
Expectations are the breeding ground. Expectations are the breeding grounds of disappointments.
It
It wasn't ready.
So listen. What I want to also talk about is historically in these times. First of all, the way that America is making money is not abnormal to white history. The Romans did it. The Germans did it. That was part of the reason for World War II, ladies and gentlemen, if you study history. Because they were printing so much money without natural resources to back it up. And so they started to trade people. Right now, do you realize that if you have a birth certificate and a social security number, you are being traded on the worldwide stock market? People don't even realize that. They don't even realize that.
Y'all are too busy killing each other for the worth of an object to add to yourself rather than invest in the worth of yourself. But I'm sorry, that's going to require you to look in the mirror.
And one thing I don't like that we do as a people is view each other as enemies. The reason why I say that is because I was a victim of this conditioning. Growing up, I was a huge victim of this conditioning, looking at another black man or black woman as my enemy. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said you have to love your people more than they hate themselves.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So this is why I hate when we have discussions as a race and one of us say, well, what about black on black crime? If you are so against black on black crime, then turn yourself in. Because you've committed a crime against a black person before.
Message.
If you don't believe me, if you stole a pencil from your mother, that's a crime. Turn yourself in if you want to hold everyone accountable. See, the problem is everyone wants to have the spotlight. Everyone wants to quote Malcolm X, not realizing that some of his material you can't quote in the modern time because times have changed. There's no longer 22 million Afro-Americans over here. It's 42 million. Did I get the number right?
You got it right,
okay,
brother.
It's 42 million of us over here now.
You got it right, brother.
So I'm just saying, I'm bringing these points up to dialogue with the fellas to say this. What can we do right now to challenge white America? And I'm not talking about the ones that's out there protesting with us, and I appreciate them protesting with us, but they get to go back home. When they get to go back to their jobs and their homes and their privilege and their inheritance and all of that, I'm talking to the white America that hates us. What can we do to them?
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it simple I'm gonna keep it short on the first part. And we need to start within our homes. I do realize
Thank you, sir.
I do realize I'm just gonna I can only touch on a couple of topics.
No, you speak your mind. This your platform too, and if somebody got a problem with what you said, they're gonna have to holler at me. Speak
Facts.
your mind.
There are a couple realms of toxicity that is getting replicated into the next generation after generation after generation.
Yes.
And we need to find the source of the problem. I'm not saying to throw a Band-Aid on the issue. No, I'm actually talking about finding the actual solution. So I'm going to go at it like this. I know that there's a big rift in time, which just happens to be a series that we need to actually finish.
Yeah.
So there's a rift in time that we need to finish. In regards to the elder generation, I'm not going to say older, the elder generation, because I'm going to give them their respect, and the newer generation. I'm bringing that topic up for this. As of 1921, from May 31st into June 1st, was the bombing of Black Wall Street. Yes, in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
As of June 19th in 2020 is where President Trump decided that he wanted to hold his first re-election campaign. Right? Ironic, right? Isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's coming from the same man who says that we should give him more credit for making Juneteenth famous. Who didn't know about it? So are you trying to earn? Mind you, he's also planning another stimulus package to come out, which he says is going to be very generous. So keep in mind, he's going to be trying to buy your vote. So gladly welcome that stimulus package and then vote for someone else. That's the definition of reneging, right? Let's go ahead and show him what that really is. But I'm going to go ahead and read over some headlines. The New York Times headlines, the president's shocked at the rows of empty seats in Tulsa, right? Trump faces pressure to reset campaign after Tulsa rally caps gloomy week. And that's from The Guardian. Newsweek, students for Trump-packed Arizona event after TikTok teens Tulsa rally mischief. Okay? The Washington Post also, did TikTokers and K-pop fans foil Trump's Tulsa rally? It's complicated. What I'm saying, reason why I brought up time to this is now. Reason for it, from the elder generation to today's generation, we need to be able to bridge the gap. Regardless of time or when you were born, we are all from the same background. We are all from the same color in different variations, light, bright, whether you're down or brown, whatever the case is. Search for your origination. We got to be able to bridge the gap. And being able to bridge the gap is where we're going to find connection. By bridging the gap, we're going to be able to find the power that lies in connectivity. As we talk all the time, Cedric, I know you're all the way on the West Coast, and here we are in the DMV area. We literally, as we speak right now, what you don't realize is we are literally crossing the nation as we converse.
Straight up.
We are crossing the nation as we converse, and all we need to do is to be able to communicate with people so that we can connect. And you telling me power doesn't exist in that? Knowledge is power, but what we need to do is be able to promote the action that follows it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about historical rebellions and historical riots. We are breaking down the history. We are talking about our own community. We're talking about each other. But the series is historical riots and rebellions. Just want to throw that out there for the people that's listening.
Before the show is over, we're definitely going to go over the Insurrection Act, which was actually threatened to be used during the riots after George Floyd. So for those who don't know, we're definitely going to go over that, even if it means me breaking down the definition of it for you and when it actually was used throughout history.
Oh, wow. And before, Cedric, before you talk, I just want to throw this nugget out there.
Yes, sir.
And if you study history and if you study law, you must realize that the United States president cannot give an executive order unless the country is under martial law. I just want to throw that nugget out there and let it marinate for a moment, because people talking about martial law is coming. Well, how many presidents have been given executive orders? Anyway, go ahead, Cedric.
It's funny because when I'm listening to Chris, I'm thinking to myself this: whoever prescribes the diameter of your knowledge also controls the circumference of your activity.
Say that again.
Whoever prescribes the diameter of your knowledge also controls the circumference of your activity.
I'm gonna share you on my page. You one sick brother. I'm trying to tell you.
So what people need to do is people need to mind the information that they're hunting and that they gathering and bringing back to their people. This is why platforms like this are so important, because it's unapologetic. It's facts-based. We're statisticians. We are microscopically dissecting the bullshit that is America, the experiment. It's almost like it's not almost, it is like living in two different realms, right? So on one plane, I need to be able to navigate myself in this world. I need to be able to articulate on many different planes. And then there's information that I need to hunt and gather to bring back to my people so that I can disseminate it in such a way that it can strike a chord with them and they can proceed in the way that I feel like would be progressive. So for instance, I'll give you a small instance, like the book The Spook That Sat by the Door. So this brother went and did whatever he did, but he brought back the information to the brothers in Chicago. And so what they did with the information is they were able to move in such a way, because they were taught from a governmental standpoint, this is how your enemy thinks about you. So it raised the consciousness of them. And so what Chris is saying to me, it really strikes a chord with me, and you probably will hear me preach this 1,000 times over, is that everything starts with that reflection that you probably can't stand the most, which is yourself.
Ooh.
Break it down.
Whoa.
It's venomous at times. It strikes like a cobra. It's unflattering.
It's
unapologetic, right?
It is.
And so a lot of times we say, you know what, forget the mirror, to what Brother Choo is saying, forget the mirror. I'll go outside and look at a brother that looked just like me.
Mm.
And I will take out on him what it is that I know about myself. This can be very dangerous. So what you have is a Molotov cocktail walking around Walmart, walking around the neighborhood with a Glock 40 on it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Totally mad at his own condition, not understanding how to raise his consciousness up. And his platforms, and I say this for a reason, because I really mean it. It's platforms like this that people can tap into to get the source of energy that will catapult them into a true education, a true education that is about restoration, restoring the mind, right? Restoring the mind. Henceforth, whoever prescribes the diameter of your knowledge also controls the circumference of the activity. So if you have a mindset that's of destruction, even though that is not what you come from, then of course it will lead you down a road to exact that same punishment that you feel upon yourself on your brother, which we call revolutionary suicide, according to Huey P. Newton.
My man.
And ladies and gentlemen, with that, we're going to take a quick 2.2 minute break. And when we come back, we're going to dive right back into the topic, and we're going to start talking about some black economics. But stay tuned. We'll be back after this quick break.
Crank and 808s.
Rhyme yo real smooth, yo. Take it breezy first, yo.
This for you. Listen. Now that love's taking over, I'm 100% sure that it's here to stay. I ain't got no issues standing in my way. I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. So let's make it official. We ain't getting no younger, baby, and I'm ready to be with you. Together for always, to have and to hold, through sickness and through health. I ain't talking crazy, babe. Can you live with this? Loving me for life, to have and hold forever. Baby, ride or die, till death do us one. Let's make it last forever. Hey, come on. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Is it Glenardi? Where Glenardi at? Hey T, I know you walking in heaven. Look at here. Now that love's taking over, I'm 100% sure that it's here to stay. I ain't got no issues standing in my way. I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. So let's make it official. We ain't getting no younger, baby,
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo on that, aka Mr. Sensation, aka Mr. Go down the line of your family and slap your great great grandmama, move to your great grandmama, then to your grandmama. Then I'm gonna hatu your mama. And I'm here with my co-host
Christopher J, aka I don't know what the heck that was, aka Mr. Essential, aka Mr. I'm Him. So do me a favor and act like you know.
Wait. You know, for the past 2 weeks, you forgot one AKA, Mr. Skirt.
Because right now I'm not trying to skirt anybody. I'm trying to bring everybody together. I know you know what's going on.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you want to come on the show and act like you crazy, then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and skirt you off the show by go ahead and hit the end button. Boop boop boop. Connection failed. Okay. If you ain't trying to connect, go ahead and excommunicate yourself.
My Lord, if they're not trying to connect, all we have to say to you is leave us.
Adios.
And I also have Cedric Gray. Oh, wait. We have had the royal hand of the king come on to the show during the break and give Cedric a holy name, and from this day forward his name shall be known as Cedric the Educator.
Yes, something that is far more important for the people in today's time.
Yes.
Throughout history, we have known Cedric the Entertainer. He's going to forever have his respect, but now we must bestow upon Cedric the Educator his respect.
Thee Lord Cedric the Educator.
We dub thee Cedric the Educator.
Talk to the people.
I appreciate that, y'all.
Yeah. So, Chris, look, today's topic. Let me not jump.
We about to do it. Am I about to break it down?
Historical rises and rebellions series. I brought this series along again because a lot of times people always act like they have a lot to say, but they are actually stupid and don't know history. So I want to bring some facts, historical things up to light, and then talk about how those things apply currently. So, Christopher J., you mentioned earlier in the show about the Insurrection Act.
Yes, I did.
Talk about it.
For those who are listening, for those who actually pay attention, it's free. The Insurrection Act, which was threatened to us during our times of riots, was actually formed in 1807, which empowers the president to deploy U.S. military and federalize troops within the U.S. in particular circumstances, such as to suppress civil disorder. Suppress, right? Which is like really like relatable to oppress. To suppress civil disorder, insurrection, and rebellion. Hence why it's called the Insurrection Act, right? And so that was in 1807 is when it actually came. But it was actually amended in 2006 and 2007 if you want to go ahead and study your history. But I wonder why. Oh, let me tell you why. Because back in 1992 when those 4 white cops beat the hell out of Rodney King. So go ahead and find you a textbook, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now that the beating of Rodney King was merely the 3 ice cream scoops to your nationally known Sunday. Let's not forget the killing of Latasha Harlins, who was a 15-year-old black girl who was fatally shot by a 51-year-old Korean-born female who was a convenience store owner. So, look, I could sit here and drop all kinds of names, ages, races. It's all history. The point I'm getting at is we could sit here and be upset about everything that's been going on. We could sit here and look at history, but let's go ahead and keep our emotions in check. Let's manage our emotions and look at history and find out how the past can be applicable to the present, so that way we can have a actual present for tomorrow. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a play on words. Slow it down. Okay? I just dissed you. Okay? I want you to focus on the past to find it applicable to the present so you can have a present for tomorrow. All right. That's my little bit. That's factual. Okay. Don't believe me? Do what most of you millennials do. Google it.
Historical rises and rebellions. Cedric, talk to us. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's just some of the same. The words have been changed. The players are still the same. And we keep getting the short end of the constitutional stick.
Yes, sir.
One of my biggest, I'm listening to Chris, and as I'm listening to Chris, I'm counting the costs. You understand? Like, I'm counting the costs. I'm sitting here and I'm going, words like suppress. You know, operative words such as suppress, you know, remind me of the COINTELPRO words to neutralize. You know, all of these operative words that are being couched in language to basically talk about the extermination of our determination.
Lord have. Can you
Like
just
a fine wine,
hold on? Time out. Flag on the play. Personal foul.
Nah, that was allowed, cuz. That was old school football.
Personal foul.
That was old school football.
Roughing the passer.
That was a legal hit. But y'all too sensitive in today's generation to know what real is.
Can you please say that last statement again? Cedric, the educator.
I feel like part of their extermination had to do with our determination. So the more and more we became determined, the more and more they amped up, I would say, the poison. So they started to make the poison that much more poisonous, if you will, the more and more we became determined. So when we became determined, Civil War wise, they came up with things. When Reconstruction happened, they came up with things. All of these things were to the detriment of the black experience and the black struggle. Now, I'll keep it short by saying this because I can go on a tangent and I choose not to do that. I choose to use my words more effectively. What we have is a case of black belt racism. It becomes more and more refined as you practice it. It becomes on a professional level, almost like you didn't even see that, did you? That's how refined and pristine that the racism is today. So for the average immigrant, no disrespect, who comes here and we speak about this black belt racism, they don't see, but we've been training to see this for years.
Wow.
One of the biggest things that I've always had a problem with, you guys, is on about 4 or 5 different fronts. So there's economic, there's education, there's the understanding of economics, right? So you have the eugenics movement going on in the 18th and 19th century to basically say to the schools that it is okay to segregate based on the fact that by blood, these black folks don't understand nothing we gonna get them. So let's just keep this thing segregated. Once again, exterminating the determination.
They actually classified. They actually came up with the name and said it was a mental illness for slaves to run away from their masters.
Facts.
But go ahead.
I want to say this, on the economic standpoint, if I will.
Okay.
If I may, excuse me. And
Go
for
ahead.
me, I feel like there has to be a fundamental overview and conceptual change into how we see ourselves from a fiscal standpoint in terms of being responsible. We got to understand what that looks like, right? So I wrote a couple things down. I said most of us have money, but don't necessarily know what to do with it. So you may cash a $5,000 check, go in there, going there to a bank teller who's getting paid $15 an hour, which is probably making, whatever, a fraction of what you making. He knows what to do with your money more than you. I digress. It's not your salary. It's not your salary that makes you rich, but it's your spending habits.
Oh my.
It's where the true power is at.
Yikes.
I digress.
Yes.
The ability to build wealth depends on the control we have on our spending.
Control.
And that's just how it is.
Control. You mean something that's synonymous to discipline? You mean something that we run from? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Which is synonymous to pressure? I'm sorry, which is the same thing that we use to make diamonds? Oh, my bad. I'm going to go. No, I digress.
And you know what's crazy, y'all? Is that we're not looking at it from an economic standpoint of saying, okay, let's start to earmark some of these things. We know we have to pay rent or mortgage, and we know we got to pay for cars and things like that, and things to eat and things like that. With that being said, with the other money that we have, with the monies that we have, are we earmarking those things into life insurance?
Wait, Cedric the educator. Are you saying that the blackout, the boycott that we had, that we were going to support black-owned businesses for one day was a waste of time if you were still paying your electric bill, your light bill, your cable bill, your internet, you're not realizing that if you go to a black restaurant that their supplier is white, but we're going to boycott we're going to boycott white businesses and only support black, as if you can do that in the freaking United States of America.
Y'all are not even educated enough to be able to like, come on.
Thank you. Well said, bro. I want to run a couple things down in
Talk
terms
to
of the
him.
black
Break it down.
And I wrote these things down too because, when I come on here, a sign of respect is making sure you're prepared.
Right.
And so one of the first things I did is I said this, there's 42 to 43 million black people in the U.S. We spend more than $1 trillion annually, but we're influenced by advertising the most. So what I did was I did just a couple instances to try to give, to illustrate what it is that we spend things on.
Okay.
So one of the things was blacks make up 23% of all cellular sales.
Okay.
While making up only 14% of the population. So we're investing in phones and not homes. Can you dig it?
Wait a minute. Whoa. Come on. Hey.
I'm about to ban you from my show, dog.
Lower your tone when you talk about phones and homes, because they're not ready for what you're about to say that's coming off the top of your dome. Okay? Relax.
We got $573.6 million annually on beauty and grooming products, 19% higher than any other demographic. And
I'm in the industry, so I know what you're talking about, brother. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You know what? Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mention these things only to suggest that the money's there.
Yes.
Just because you have money don't mean you understand. That doesn't necessarily mean that you understand the money.
And just
to get to a point.
And just to support what Cedric is saying, not to cut you off, brother, but real quick, I just want to throw this in there. The Chinese keep their money, the dollar, in the Chinese community for 28 days. White folks keep it in their community for 23 days. Black folks keep it in their community for 6 hours.
Message.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 6 hours. 6 to 8 hours is the approximate.
To be exact, yes, but still a message.
Yeah, it's still a message.
It's a fraction.
We have hours. They have days. Anyway, go ahead. Where it circulates before it leaves their community. And we're talking black economics here, because if I was to prescribe what I'm doing behind the scenes, I'm not even going to announce it yet, to build black wealth and black economics amongst our people for us, most people look at me like this isn't going to work, but I know it works.
Without question.
That's right.
But anyway, go ahead, Cedric. Finish what you were saying. I just want to throw that out there just in case someone was trying to hate on the truth you was dropping.
So dig and thank you too, brother. Both of you guys. I want to say this. Now let's look at the way that we eat, right? Because that seems kind of like how much money we spending on eating. Now take a look at this. Now from the black sector of eating, right? We liberally spend on soul food. I ain't got no problem with that. But let's just take a look microscopically on what we spending. So Quaker grits, $19.1 million annually.
You are kidding me.
What?
Fish fry seasoning, $11.1 million annually.
This is where our dollars are going.
96.1%. Watch this though. 96.1% of the 1.2 households in the top 1% by income were white.
Wow.
I'm gonna say it again. 96.1% of the 1.2 households in the top 1% by income were white. 100 richest people control more wealth than the entire black community, which is 42 some odd million people here in the United States of America. And I just want my people to resonate. I want my people to resonate. Replay this video. Watch it a few times because it's so many dynamic things moving in different directions in terms of information that I personally feel that it's imperative to watch it over again. To watch it over again. To study some of your own habits, going back to what Chris was saying. It starts at home. It starts in your back pocket or in your Gucci purse or whatever it is that you decide to rock. It starts there.
And your Christian Dior.
That's right. So let's put something in your head and not on it.
My man, hey, my man. I want to back that up by saying let's actually make sure that it's actually genuine, and not fake. But
that's right.
But for real. But being a barber, I wanna do more than just line up your hairline on the outside of your head and actually line up the thoughts that's within your head. Okay.
That's deep. That's deep. That's real. Yes, sir.
Let's just be honest. I sit you in my chair, I get you cleaned up, and you walk out with a newfound sense of confidence. But I like to be able to stimulate your mind on another level so you can walk out with a new sense of education that you can give to your brothers and sisters.
I can read your mind, baby. I know what you're thinking, and it's alright.
What you say?
And it's alright,
baby. Hey, look. Only in our culture you could do that.
Yeah. Yo.
If you're too bright, it's not right.
I just want to say we're talking about historical rises, rebellions, and black economics. And if you're not getting educated from this program, then you yourself is a peon in the game. Yes, I said it, a peon in the game. You know, we glorify so much stuff that we don't even realize that words are spells. I said this before on the show.
Multiple times, multiple episodes. If you don't know, go back and watch all of them.
Go back and watch all of them. Words are spells, which is why when you say a bad word, they call it cursing. You are literally speaking curses in the atmosphere every time you open your mouth.
You speak it onto yourself.
Which is why the scriptures say that life and death is in the power of your tongue. Now let's break that down for a second for all those people who like to hear the Bible and not read the Bible.
Which only lets you know that your ears work and not your eyes.
Yeah.
But let's just say both of those work.
Yeah. So I'm going to break it down real quick, and I'm going to just say this. Actually, you know what? We're going to take a quick 2.2 minute break, and when I come back, I'm going to say it. We'll be right back after this.
Crank and 808s.
Rhyme yo real smooth, yo. Take it breezy first, y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Randy Choo, a.k.a. Mr. Choo on that, a.k.a. Mr. Slap the fossils of your ancestry.
Stop disrespecting me like that.
I will stomp on the skeletons that were discovered. Never mind. Anyway.
And anyway, it's the co-host, Christopher J, a.k.a. Mr. Essential, a.k.a. just in case y'all forgot, Mr. Skirt, if you got disrespectful, a.k.a. Mr. I'm him, so act like you know. Put some respect on my name. You heard.
And I'm here with my other co-host.
Ooh, break it down, said he said.
Cedric the Educator. Talk to the people.
Hey, yo, what's up, y'all, man? What's up, man? This week about to get back into it, man.
All the way from the West Coast, cuz. You already know what we do out here, homie, on the deluxe, cuz.
Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Too loped out. It's going crazy. Okay, anyway.
Shout out to the Bay Area, man.
Listen, so historical rises and rebellions in black economics. This is the series that we have been discussing. This is part 1 of it. Part 2 will be next week. And before we end this show, I want to start with Cedric the Educator's final thoughts. Then we're going to go to Christopher J. And then to myself. And the show will conclude. And we will continue this next week. Cedric, talk to the people.
All right, so this is what I'm going to say to y'all. In the words of the late, great Tupac Shakur, the powers in the people and the politics that we address. Never be fooled into believing that you do not possess any kind of power. Everything starts at home. And from outside of that, we can control our own destiny. I got 2 books that I want you guys to pick up or read or whatever you got to do. My Life, My Love, My Legacy. This is a book by Coretta Scott King. The second one is How to Kill a City. How to Kill a City is dealing with gentrification. Pick up this book, How to Kill a City, is dealing with gentrification. The last thing that I want to say is this, man. It's platforms like this. It's brothers like Chris and Choo that's much needed in our community. We want you guys to stay in, to stay tuned. And I love y'all, man. Peace.
Thank you, Cedric the Educator. Christopher J., your final thoughts.
Woo! I'm usually the intellectual ranter, so I want to go ahead and break down some information real quick. Out of everything that we've talked about, I need you to understand something. We are human beings. We are family. We are not sheep. I need you to go ahead and do yourself a favor. Google what a sheep is. Google what a shepherd is. And then in the midst of that, I need you to go ahead and Google what a sheep dog is. So when you go ahead and you're trying to follow all your influencers and your celebrities and your rappers and all of that stuff like that, I need you to go ahead and understand who's really controlling what it is that you see, think, hear, or watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and set that aside. And on top of that, do me a favor and just Google the term dystopian. Okay?
Break it down.
Dystopian. Okay? Relating to or denoting an imagined state or society where there is great suffering or injustice. And if that doesn't describe 2020 as it stands today, then you might need to read what the definition of dystopian is. And when you Google dystopian, you're going to see all the movies throughout history that have shown it. And if you want to go ahead and truly educate yourself, then watch those same movies. Okay? Educate yourselves. Everybody wants to be Malcolm X with the AK-47 carbine. Yes, it was a carbine, not just an AK-47. Okay? For those who think that they know weapons. Okay? He wasn't just someone with some glasses on his face. He educated himself. He read books. Okay? Educate yourselves. There's nothing wrong with having emotion and being upset with what's going on, but educate yourself so you can find a fine balance and do something that's proper. You want to be a leader? Act like one. I digress.
Ladies and gentlemen, historical rises and rebellions, black economics, building a nation. This is Mr. Randy Choo. These are my final thoughts. J. Krishnamurti said, "It is no measure of health or success to be fully integrated and successful in a sick society. In other words, if you are bragging about your successes within a sick society, it only shows that you yourself is a sick person.
Mm.
Sadhguru, who is the master student of the master teacher, J. Krishnamurti, said this: "This is such a brief life. Doing what you truly care for is the only way to make your life worthwhile." I said that because building for my people is worthwhile to me. Giving to my people is worthwhile to me. I've been backstabbed. I've had my name, my reputation discarded. I've had lies been put on me. I had people count me out. And I loved everyone through the entire thing. I didn't expose they lies. I didn't expose their flaws. I simply just lived my life. I kept it moving because as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, cream always rises to the top. No matter what pot you put it in and what you try to mix it with, it'll always rise to the top. And the only reason why I feel like I rise to the top is because I have a genuine love for my people. I have put my life on the line for my people. I've been on the FBI investigation. I've been harassed by them. I've been through a lot for my people. I haven't even got my federal income tax back yet. And what month are we going into? It's almost July. And I sent my stuff in, what, January? And all it's saying is processing?
To this day.
To this day? Listen, I've been doing activism work for a very long time. I've been feeding people for a very long time. Shout out, first of all, I just want to say this. Shout out to my spiritual leader, my spiritual teacher, my spiritual guide, the most honorable Antonio Palmer, who's also my father. Shout out to him. I may not understand all of his ways or his tactics or his wisdom, but I submit to it and I honor it. And that's why I'm successful as well, is because I'm a person in authority and I'm a person under authority. I'm a person who knows how to give commands, and I know how and I'm also a person that knows how to take commands. And it takes humility and it takes pride to be an honorable person in this society. And yes, I use the word pride because you're allowed to boast on what you are.
Oh, man.
And the reason why I want to bring up these historical facts and talk about black economics and building our community and what we had that was taken from us is to inspire you and provoke you to jealousy to where you want it back again. To where if you have a beef with another black person, you squash it immediately. That's the reason why I do this. This is the reason for my platform. Is to raise up a dead people. At the end of the most honorable Antonio Palmer said this to me, and it always sticks to me. He said, inheritance is what you give. Legacy is who you leave behind.
Mm.
I want to leave a legacy. Inheritance,
Mm.
me and my father working on that. We got that down pat. The kids are good. He's working on my kids. I'm working on their kids. We good. But I want to leave a legacy, man. I want my name to ring throughout time, man. Not to say, oh, Randy was this and that, but to say Randy is a man who gave his life for his people. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, next week we're going to come back on
With some more facts.
with some more facts, some more wisdom,
Some more education.
Same series, same bat cave, same niggas.
And I would hope that y'all call in.
And next week I'm gonna open up the phone lines. I didn't open up the phone lines this show. I'm gonna open them up next show. And the number to dial for those who are watching is 516-531-9828. 516-531-9828. Listen. This is the last thing I'm going to say, and we're going to end the show. Listen. Don't give your opinion in public if you haven't supported your people as a whole in private.
Message.
Shut the hell up.
That's the opposite of down for those who don't read.
Because your opinions is the reason why we still stay divided. Because people who do real work in real life, they don't do theological gangbanging. They don't do turf wars. They don't post everything they do on social media. With that being said, Cedric, give the people your IG. Christopher J, give out everything you doing, and then we out.
You guys can catch me on cgray2916 on Instagram. If you want to email me, you can email me at cgray2916@gmail.com.
It's your boy, Christopher J. Follow me on Unofficial MD. That's my Instagram. I'm a barber. If you're trying to get your hairline lined up.
Oh, my God.
Or even the thoughts within your head lined up. Just go ahead and follow me and book an appointment. I'm out in Glen Burnie. We can go ahead and get your crown adjusted so you can shine like a king.
It's your boy, Randy Choo. I'm at Mr. Randy Choo, at Choo Radio. Follow us on all platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll see y'all next week. Deuces.
Rhyme yo real smooth, yo. Take it breezy first, yo.
This for you. Listen. Now that love's taking over, I'm 100% sure that it's here to stay. I ain't got no issues standing in my way. I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. So let's make it official. We ain't getting no younger, baby, and I'm ready to be with you. Together for always, to have and to hold, through sickness and through health. I ain't talking crazy, babe. Can you live with this? Loving me for life, to have and hold forever. Baby, ride or die, till death do us part. Let's make it last forever. Hey, come on. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Is it Glenardi? Where Glenardi at? Hey, T, I know you walking in heaven.